So for today, we have a Hyundai Santa Fe. It's a 2023, so at this point it's a previous generation, but I have to say it still looks pretty fresh. Stepping around to the back, not bad. Got the Santa Fe script there. This one has H-Track, which is their branding for all-wheel drive. Stepping around to the side, it's pretty inoffensive. Actually, it's giving me a little bit of like Jeep Cherokee vibes with those LED lights. They kind of look like cat eye a little bit. But yeah, definitely not a bad vehicle. Let's go ahead and get into it. Stepping inside to this 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe. And first impressions, it's not bad. Like, I am just actually truly surprised. Like, you got your center console here. Nice, huge screen for its class. But let's go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and start her up. Go ahead and do your little system checks, your little warnings. And starts right up. So I have to say, I cannot believe how far Hyundai has come over the years. I remember when the first Hyundai Santa Fe came out, and it wasn't something you'd probably want to drive for yourself. But this is not bad, and it's actually funny, like when Hyundai actually overtook anything really. I'd rather drive this, I think, than anything from Ford, GM, anything really domestic. They really have hit it out of the park. With this one, you get kind of like this, what would you call it, maybe like a little bit, if you squint your eyes, kind of a layout with all your climate controls, your radio functions, your your transmission mapping for your terrain response and all that stuff. It's a little kind of Porsche, maybe old Porsche. Maybe I'm really reaching, like maybe like a Cayenne or a Panamera, even maybe from like 10 years ago with all the buttons. I do appreciate the buttons. I really am glad that they have physical buttons. And then I really do like their landscape horizontal screens that they do. Cascades a little bit down from their Genesis models. But overall, like, I cannot believe just like how decent this Hyundai really is. Like, they're not as cheap as they used to be. You can see that in the in the window there, like what these things MSRP for now. So definitely not as like value esque as they used to be, but this thing's grown in size since when it was originally launched, in the early 2000s, to more of a mid-size SUV. But everything's really gotten a lot bigger these days too, where the mid-size sedan or SUV, mid-size whatever, really is like the same size as full size, and vice versa. Even like for compact, that's like the size of what mid-sized cars were 10-15 years ago, 20 years ago. But overall, not bad when you go through all the little functions. So you have like your radar cruise control, distance monitoring. It actually has not, I guess it's lane keep assist, whatever. Like, it actually kind of guides the wheel, so it follows like the stripes of the road, which is actually really awesome. Whereas like on my 4Runner, for example, it just beeps at you. So I just turn that off. You do have that down here, and some other, accessories and stuff too. Your dimmers for your interior lighting. One thing I do really like with the Hyundais, they do have decent graphics. They don't look dated by any means. They actually look pretty modern. We'll go ahead and scroll through all the menus here. So, drive to display, okay. What is that? Okay. Your speedometer, digital compass. What else? If we do this, oh, there we go. Our drive information. Not too bad, 23 mpg average, 26 over the lifetime, or at least for a longer distance, you know, it's a rental, and so forth. So pretty simple. Where you get like into a little bit more here is on the touch screen here, but again, you do have these like secondary controls, which is really nice. You know, your map, which I have to say is actually pretty pretty crisp, you know, and pretty much high resolution. So it's actually nice. And then also, if you remember on the GM vehicles, they make you pay extra for their map. So you have to have like a Google subscription or some, you know, BS, which is ridiculous, especially this day and age. Media, so you're, you know, pretty much everything. The sounds of nature, what does that do? That's interesting. Oh, well, it's as big as calming on a sailing ship. So this is fun. This is like cool stuff that like I think Hyundai does a little bit extra. Again, this is not like a luxury brand by any means, but just the amount of stuff. Wow, there's actually like so many. We'll go back. Go here to setup. Okay, that's kind of annoying. We'll turn that off. Let's go look here at vehicle. So again, very nice graphics, lots of like customization that you can do, which is cool. Hit back, very user friendly. I want to go over, what is that weird? I don't want to hear just that. Oh goodness. We got this like map thing on, or this like not map, but like fireplace. It was under media. There it goes. So media is the button to turn this off. We'll experience the universe for the rest of this. What else? Phone projection, you know, your Apple CarPlay, Android, as well too. But again, super super quick, very reactive. I wish my 4Runner was a little bit, you know, quicker, you know, the software. But again, my 4Runner, expect that one to last just as long as my old one. So hope to get, you know, at least another 20 years out of that one. So I don't know if this will last 20 years. And what else? We got our drive modes here. So now we looked at all that. Again, all these buttons, which again, I do really appreciate. Again, you know, you get, you know, heated seats are pretty much, you know, base model stuff these days, I feel. But even things like auto hold, don't have that on the 4Runner, but it's great. But again, also I'm like, you know, are you that lazy where you can't put your foot on the brake? I grew up driving stick shifts, and you did have the balance between the clutch, and we'll turn that down a little bit, but you know, clutch and brake when you're on steep hills, there was no auto hold. So feel that's just something I could break over time. But having this here, you know, it's super easy, super, you know, intuitive, user-friendly. You know, and then up here, as you're going through the drive modes, it does, focus camera. There we go. So between smart, I'm sure that's like something that just like reacts to different road conditions. Comfort's gonna be like your, you know, most basic setting, you know, for economy. And then also comfort, as it does say. Then you got your sport. We'll just do this. There we go, that's better. And then snow. But it's also cool, it does have a locking center differential, which is cool. So it makes it a little bit more capable off-road, and then also a little bit better like in the snow and stuff. So like the power should be split between the front and rear axles, you know, evenly, but you know, I can check the stats on that. But in theory, that's what it should do. Little hill descent control. So some little off-road goodies, ish. There's no real true off-road, you know, mode in the multi-terrain response, let's just call it. But you know, enough for the person who's going to be probably just driving this to Trader Joe's and, you know, Altas. But other than that, quick little review. Driving dynamics, driving impressions. I think it drives decently. One of my biggest complaints about older, you know, Hyundais was here, the steering wheel, and we'll say now, like, I don't know if this one's just a little bit upgraded, but they have improved whatever the material is that they use on the steering wheel. In the past, it was so gross and so cheap, especially on the Sonatas. It was disgusting. So if you rented like a 2015 or 16 Sonata in the past, and you know, they have all these like tech goodies, at least for the time, and then you would touch the steering wheel, it was disgusting. So one thing you interact with the most, it felt just like old tissue paper. It was gross. They do still have a little bit of that cheap plastic feel here on the, you know, indicator or, you know, turn signal stock. So, you know, they're improving, but slowly but surely. Same thing here on this, for the wipers. So it's those little things that like you touch every single day and time that, you know, could really impact your impression of the vehicle. And, you know, with that like, you know, leads to then, you know, advocacy and loyalty, you know, to the brand, and just your overall experience with the vehicle. You can have the greatest tech and, you know, experience with it, but, you know, if a brand that was, you know, always known as being the cheap, you know, the cheap guy on the street, cheap date, you know, just kind of like a, you know, not really your first choice option. You know, they're trying to get away from that, and I think they've done a great job for the most part. They do have some interesting textures here, so you have some like carbon fiber-ish fake stuff going on here, but it doesn't look bad. And then some interesting shapes. But then what I don't understand is like this carbon fiber looks a little bit different than the carbon fiber on the doors, and then that trim. Again, it's like a fake looking carbon fiber, but it looks better than piano black, and also better than just like a silver or something. But overall, that's not too bad. You know, that's not bad, but this is much better than what it, you know, had been on like older Hyundais and Kias with that disgusting, like, in the comments, let me know if you know exactly what I'm talking about, that disgusting, nasty material. It was like tissue paper for your steering wheel. It was gross. So overall driving dynamics, it does okay. We'll put the horsepower and, you know, torque ratings, you know, up there. And, you know, all kind of like, you know, the specs and, you know, performance that you get, like, you know, out of this 0 to 60 times and all that are up there. And, you know, it's not bad. You know, it does drive decently. It's smooth. But like with most cars, like when you want to, you know, get on it, you know, the transmission doesn't really know what to do. It'll downshift, high rev. You know, I think this might be turbocharged. You can kind of feel that, like, needs to spool a little bit till, you know, the torque number gets up there and actually starts accelerating. So, you know, you don't get that in a big, you know, V8 like we had in the Suburban and, you know, that Denali, you know, a few weeks ago. So, yeah, but overall, it's not bad. You know, it's better than a Maxima, or not Maxima, an Altima, or, you know, any of those like Nissans, you know, I've rented in the past. So I think that's the win right there. You know, Hyundai, you know, has actually surpassed the Japanese and has built, you know, a better vehicle, or at least a more desirable one that you can get on a lease, or, you know, with that huge warranty, you know, you can definitely, not feel like you're gonna have something like leave you stranded. It might leave you stranded, but at least, like, you know, they'll be back there. You know, the company will back you up and hopefully, you know, replace whatever like breaks in that first 100,000 miles. So, you know, you can get your 5-year, you know, payment plan on it. You know, hopefully, you know, you don't go higher than that. You really shouldn't. You know, watch my finance videos to know why that's bad. And then, you know, you can still get a few more years. You know, I think it's a 10-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty on these, which, you know, is decent. You know, so you can like still like, you know, have some life out of it after you get out your payments, and then, you know, trade it in and or get some extra, you know, a little more value out of it on the trade-in, if you don't run out that warranty. So that's it. Quick take on the Hyundai Santa Fe. Overall, it's not bad. You know, it's not my favorite ones to rent, but it's better than the Tucson. We'll say that. Drives a little better, a little bit, you know, heftier, you know, more substantial of a car. But I will say, when renting, you know, there was a little bit of a something special about, you know, the Denali or even that Suburban, you know, driving that big V8. It wasn't, you know, wasn't too bad at all. And I did really like the Genesis too. So I think those are all my favorites so far. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you would purchase, you know, a Hyundai Santa Fe, they did just redesign it for 2024, 2025. So it's a completely different look, boxier, away from all the swoopiness, because they just redesigned this, I think, in 18 or 19. So not a very long model life, but yeah, not too bad, not a bad option. Just maybe a little bit concerned about, you know, just the quality of like everything on the long term, but you know, in the short term, you know, if you're just looking for something that's going to get you there and give you some decent tech and, you know, a decent price point, this should definitely be part of your consideration set. It's kind of a buzzy little engine there too. So other than that, not bad. I'm gonna get this thing back to Avis and we'll see you on the next one. Have a great one. Bye. Hard to see here because there's like shadows in the back.